What's up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of Instant Reaction presented by Sony here on the Colts Audio Network and on YouTube. I'm JJ Stankevitz, joined every week by my friend Bill Brooks, Colts Ring of Honor wide receiver, to break down the Colts' latest game. Bill, the Colts are 30-20 losers to the Buffalo Bills in Week 10. They dropped to 4-6 on the season. They're still a game out of playoff position, still one game behind the Denver Broncos, thanks to the Kansas City Chiefs blocking a game-winning field goal at Arrowhead Stadium. So season's not over yet, but Bill, a really tough game at Lucas Oil Stadium today, and there's no other place to start than four turnovers. You're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over four times, as the Colts did today. Joe Flacco throws three interceptions. He loses a fumble. The Colts also were unable to convert a 4th and 2 at the Bills' 20-yard line. That was a turnover on downs. So plenty to get into with this game, but Bill, I think the headline of it is turnovers are the thing that dooms the Colts in Week 10.
Yeah, turnovers will doom a lot of teams. I don't care who you are and how good you are of a team. If you turn the ball over, get the ball back to the other team, it's going to be very difficult for you to win games. And that's one of the things the Colts, were trying to do, of course, but they can't turn the ball over, can't get the ball up. And, they've talked about securing the ball and making sure they hold on to the ball. But when you give the ball back to a team like the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen back there that knows how to hurt you in regards to him running the ball himself, but also throwing the ball. Now, they didn't have all their weapons, but they had enough weapons to do damage against the Colts. And when you turn the ball over that many times, that's what's going to happen to you.
All right, before we get into a breakdown of what went wrong and a couple of bright spots for this game, remember our podcast here is presented by Sony. This NFL season, feel every play, every hit, every moment with the Sony 1000 XM5 noise-canceling headphones, the official headphones of the Indianapolis Colts. With premium noise cancellation, you're in the zone. No distractions, just pure football. Whether you're in your living room or on the go, you'll never miss a beat with Sony headphones. All right, Bill, we can start right off the bat with Joe Flacco. He throws a pick six on his first play, the first offensive play of the day for the Colts. After the game, Flacco said that was an awful decision by him. Taron Johnson looked like he maybe baited him into making that throw. Taron Johnson's a really good football player. I think him and Kenny Moore, the second, are actually probably your two top slot corners in the NFL, both on the field today, both with picks today. But that was one that, first play of the game, the Colts are trying to spring something on offense, and Flacco just, I don't know if he didn't see him or he was trying to fit something in there, but Johnson jumps in front of that. He gets the pick six, and Buffalo immediately goes up 7-0 after their first offensive possession stalled out.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to start a game when the first play in the offense is you throw a pick six and your opponent gets up 7-0. And, that's not what we expected from Joe Flacco. We expected Joe Flacco to go out there and be efficient, move the offense down the field, complete some passes, complete some short passes, some medium passes, and get the ball to the open receivers. Unfortunately, he made a bad decision, throw the ball, and they picked it off, and it gave them a good jump start. We talked about last week the Colts not being able to get off to a good start and not getting into a rhythm, and that's what happened. But the Colts did come back, and they did take a lead, but it wasn't enough for today's game.
So the Colts come out on their next drive, Bill, and, Flacco hits a 21-yarder to Josh Downs. Looked like a nice play designed to kind of spring Downs free. They then are able to pick up a first down. Jonathan Taylor gains 2 yards on a 4th and 1 at the Buffalo 39. You're thinking, okay, hey, fresh set of downs. You're in Bills territory. You've got a really good shot at just kind of getting this thing back on track. And then Flacco throws a pick on a screen that Johnson on Buffalo is able to just kind of grab out of the air. Maybe the throw is a little bit behind Taylor, but another one there. That was the first of what I kind of consider, Bill, to be four turnovers, that the Colts had in this game that all came in Bills territory. That one came at the Bills 43-yard line is where that ball was turned over. So the Colts got a little something going. The drive then ends with a turnover on a screen pass right there, Bill.
Yeah, that's tough. You're moving the ball, you're going down the field, you have a couple of good plays, and you think you're going to continue to go down the field and hopefully score some points. But unfortunately, in that screen pass, guy jumped right in front of it and got the pass, and they got the ball back, and then, if I'm not mistaken, they went down and capitalized on that turnover by getting a
Yep.
field goal. So that was unfortunate, and we talked about this earlier, when you turn the ball over, it'd be great if they don't capitalize and don't score any points, but Buffalo is a good team. They're going to capitalize off of your mistakes, and that's what they did. And that's what good teams do. When you make a mistake, they want to make you pay for it. And the Bills, they made the Colts pay for it. No, they didn't get a touchdown, but they still got a field goal. They still got something out of it, and it also prevented you from scoring and going down the field. So it's important, as we mentioned earlier, you can't turn the ball over. That is going to hurt you every time when you play in the National Football League.
Yeah. So, I mean, right off the bat, the Colts turn the ball over on their first two possessions. They go down 10-0. And then the Colts start getting some momentum back. You get Jonathan Taylor ripping off a 58-yard run. Really nice play design with Quentin Nelson pulling to the right, carving out some space for Taylor. But even that drive, Bill, you get down first and goal on the 9, and you go a run for no game. And then the incompletion to Downs, that Downs drops. And
Yes.
that was a play that could have wound up being a touchdown. Downs is not able to make that catch. You saw after the play, he kind of slammed the football into the ground like he knew it. That is so unlike Josh Downs. That is not something I am like long-term concerned about there, Bill. That was a complete aberration for Downs to not catch that ball. Then he throws incomplete again to Downs. You have to settle for a 27-yard field goal. You get it back to 10-3. And look, that Bills defense is really good in the red zone. So missing an opportunity early on in the game, even if you did get 3 points and you were able to kind of start clawing things back, that did feel, Bill, like a missed opportunity for the Colts after that big Taylor run.
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity. And, the Bills in the red zone, they're seventh, or going into the game, they were seventh in the red zone defense, stopping teams from getting touchdowns in the red zone. And you know what? The pass to Josh Downs did just the basic thing that you don't do as a wide receiver. He took his eyes off the ball, tried to run with it before he actually caught it. And you know what? I've seen plenty of receivers do it. I've done it and dropped the ball as well. So a lot of guys do it, but it was a missed opportunity for the Colts to hopefully get a touchdown at that time, but they didn't get a touchdown. So it's unfortunate. And, those are opportunities when you're playing a team like the Buffalo Bills, you have to take advantage of. You can't miss those opportunities. And unfortunately, the Colts missed that opportunity, and give the Bills credit. They lucked out on that one with Josh dropping it, and then they held them to a field goal.
Bill, I do want to zoom out a little bit here and just kind of point to, because you mentioned, okay, hey, you as a wide receiver, you've had a drop, in a situation like that. I don't know if you had a fumble like A.D. Mitchell had where it was recovered by Josh Downs. But the thing that I did like, and kind of amid all of these offensive struggles, is that those two guys, Downs and then especially A.D. Mitchell, didn't kind of wither after they had those mistakes. Like Mitchell has that fumble on the second possession right before Flacco throws the pick on the screen. And he comes back and has a career day. He goes 6 catches on 6 targets for 71 yards. He gets a lot of big plays, a lot of first downs today for A.D. Mitchell. Obviously, Josh Downs has another really good game. He's targeted 10 times, catches 7 passes for 72 yards. But neither of those guys kind of let those mistakes balloon into anything bigger. As a player, when you go back to the sideline and you screwed up, it's on you. How do you what mentality do you have to not let that mushroom into something that can affect you for the entire game?
Yeah, one of the things you have to do is, first of all, you made a mistake. Okay, why did you make that mistake? Kind of go through the process of trying to figure out why you made a mistake. For Josh Downs, it was just basically took his eyes off the ball, tried to run with it before he caught the ball. A.D. Mitchell, give the defender some credit. He punched the ball out, got the ball out. But what you think about is, okay, I let my teammates down. I got to pick it up. I got to make sure I don't make those mistakes again. And yeah, you're frustrated with yourself. You're upset with yourself, but you have to try to put it behind you because you can't do anything about it. The only thing you can do is hopefully not let it happen again, and make sure you go through the process and figuring out why you made that mistake out there in the football field. Then you have to forget it, because if you let it linger in your head, you think about it, it's going to affect the rest of your play. And those guys did not let it linger in their heads. They just went on and did the rest of their assignments and played the football game and had good games. Both of them played, I should say, a good game, but both of them, they did a nice job out there. So that shows a lot for those two young men to just put it behind them and go forward. And play pretty well the rest of the game.
So this bill here, kind of going back to the flow of this game, the Colts go down, they tie it up at 10 with a really nice play design. Joe Flacco hits Tyler Goodson for a touchdown on his birthday. So, pretty cool moment there for Tyler. And then this is where I thought the Colts had a real chance to kind of really grab control of this game. So they get the game tying touchdown. The first play of the next drive, EJ Speed kind of baits Josh Allen into an interception. Like awesome defense by EJ, great discipline. He comes down with his first career pick. The Colts take over on the Buffalo 33-yard line, and then Jonathan Taylor immediately gains 22 yards. And you get down to the Bills' 11-yard line, a first down, 1st and 10 from there. And then the Colts are not able to do anything off of that. They get a 2-yard run here, another 2-yard run there, a false start on Braden Smith, and then you get a 3rd and 11. You're really not going anywhere. 3rd and 11 from the 12-yard line. Have to settle for a field goal. I think a touchdown there, Bill, could have had a greater impact over the course of this game by, okay, hey, that's complimentary football there, right? Touchdown on offense, an interception on defense, and then another touchdown on offense. And you got Buffalo on their heels a little bit. Instead, you only manage a field goal. And while the Bills aren't able to, totally wrestle control of this ball away, control the game away for a little bit longer, they then go right down and score a touchdown on their next drive, and they go up 17-13, and the Colts never get the lead back in this game.
Yeah, and it was important for the Colts to try to score touchdowns because you knew that the Buffalo Bills were going to put some points up on the board. And when the Colts did not have an opportunity or did not take advantage of the opportunity to score a touchdown there, it kind of, I don't say it set them back, but it was kind of hard. So they did capitalize getting a field goal, but unfortunately they could not get a touchdown. You're going to need touchdowns against this team, against the Buffalo Bills, because they were ranked 4th in scoring in the National Football League, averaging about 29 points a game. So when they're that good, you're going to have to put up some points, and field goals just aren't going to get it done all the time in a game like this. You have to score some touchdowns. It was unfortunate the Colts couldn't get 7 points on that after that turnover that EJ Speed got for the Colts.
So again, the flow of this game sort of becomes defined by the Colts turnovers. Then when you get into the second half, Colts are able to get a stop early on Buffalo. They get the ball back. They start moving the ball again on offense. You get the ball. This drive started on the Colts 3-yard line after a punt, and they're able to move the ball all the way into Bills territory to the Bills 38-yard line. It's 2nd and 10. Greg Rousseau is able to beat Matt Gonzalez, who is in the game because Bernard Ryman exited with a knee injury. And, I thought Gonzalez, kind of like last week, I thought he battled pretty well. But this moment, Greg Rousseau is a good player, gets around him, forces a fumble on Flacco that's recovered. The next play, again, the Colts defense comes right up. Kenny Moore gets that pick. Great read by Kenny. He said that was the same play the Bills ran on the first play of the game, just that play action, quick throw to the sideline. And as soon as he saw the play action, he took off for the sideline. He picked up his marker. He picked that pass off, and he nearly took it to the house. Kenny told me he thought he was maybe running. He was like almost running too fast as he's trying to control the ball, and that's how he fell over on that play. But the defense right there picks up the offense in a huge way. And then the offense is not able to make anything happen out of it, because that then becomes, to me, this was the possession that probably sealed the game for Buffalo. Was after the Kenny pick, the Colts are able to get a fresh set of downs at the 28-yard line. They get it all the way to 4th and 2, and that's where they run mesh on 4th and 2. Buffalo is all over it. They cover both crossers. Flacco tries to buy some time. He backpedals a little bit. Quentin Jefferson, sacks him for a 10-yard loss, turnover on downs. And then after that, the Bills go right down. They get a field goal that puts them up by 2 scores. At that point, when Flacco got sacked, it was 20-13. You're trying to tie the game. I totally agree with Shane going for the first down there. But in that instance, it kind of not being able to convert it, I think, is where Buffalo really was able to wrestle control of this game away and go up by 2 scores, which the Colts were not able to match again during the course of this game.
Yeah, it's a big momentum swing right there for the Buffalo Bills. They stopped them on 4th and 2, and the Colts could not get a first down there. If it's got a first down there, get some more downs, it could change the complexion of the game. But give Buffalo credit. They did their job, what they need to do. They got pressure on Flacco, sacked him, and it was a turnover on downs right there. And that was pretty much, I won't say it was a game, but it did a lot for the Buffalo Bills for them to get momentum going forward for the rest of the game.
I think overall, Bill, I thought that the the Colts defense played pretty well in this game. Like I thought they battled, which is kind of like weird to say when you give up 30 points. But that last one on offense where the Colts the ball tips off of Pierce's fingers, it's thrown a little bit high, it gets picked off by Taylor Rapp. That kind of maybe seals it as Buffalo is able to go down. Um, Buffalo was able to play complementary football off of the Colts turnovers in a lot of instances where the Colts are not able to do it on the other side. Buffalo then late in the game, Bill, they have two possessions in that start after the turnover on downs. And on those two possessions, they churn off 13 minutes and 29 seconds of the clock. They scored 10 points. That's ultimately the final margin in this game. And the Colts on their two drives around those went turnover and downs and interception. So that right there was kind of the antithesis of complementary football. And, there's a reason why Buffalo is 8-2 because they are a good team across the board. And they can do those kind of things like that where, hey, late in the games, we're going to go down, we're going to run a lot of clock, we're going to convert on third and fourth down, and we're going to put points on the board to pull away from our opponent. And that's exactly what the Bills did today.
Yeah, they have a confidence in each of their uh, groups there, the offense and the defense and the special teams. And, the offense knows that if they make a mistake, they know the defense is going to pick them up. And that's a good feeling when offensively knowing that, hey, we can go out there, play free. And if we do make a mistake, we have confidence in our defense. And the same thing goes with their defense. They have confidence in Josh Allen and that offense and what they can do. And that's how they play. And that's how you could see that they felt very confident. They didn't seem like they panicked any time during this game as far as the way they were playing. And that's what you want to do. When you're a good football team, you find ways to win, even though it might not be the easiest or the best way or the prettiest to play, you still find a way to win. And that's what the Buffalo Bills did. And you know what? Give them credit. They're a good football team, and they're trying to fight for the best record in the National Football League with the Kansas City Chiefs to see who gets home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Colts end this game, Bill, with 10-play, 70-yard drive. It ends with an Alec Pierce touchdown, but those kind of felt like empty calories a little bit, where Buffalo's kind of just the game's sort of over at that point.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce, hey, credit him. He makes a nice play, sets a new career high in touchdowns. He's having a really nice season, so you don't want to totally lose sight of that. But in this game, Bill, Joe Flacco goes 26 of 35 for 272, two touchdowns, three picks, a passer rating of 79.7. The Colts held Josh Allen in this game to 22 of 37 for 280 with no touchdowns and two picks. He does run for a touchdown, and he gains 50 yards on 8 carries. But he's got a passer rating of 60.6, which is why I kind of came away from this game being like, yes, defense, like they competed. They really did compete in this game. And it's disappointing that the Colts offense was not able to kind of, make it count, I guess. I thought you had a really nice day out of Kenny Moore II. You had some good stuff from the pass rush, even though you didn't get to Allen a whole lot. You affected him in some good ways. He had that overthrow to Kincaid back, I think it was the first half he had where that was affected by Dio Dangbo getting some pressure. So overall, I thought the Colts defense played well. I don't know if I'm not going to sit here and say they played like awesome, great football, but I thought they played pretty well. And the Colts offense, again, it just goes back to the turnovers. You're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over 4 times. And that is ultimately the story of why the Colts lost this game and fell to 4-6 this season.
Yeah, that's the bottom line is turnovers. And then I think looking at it from a defensive standpoint, you know what, Buffalo made some key plays at key times. And that's why maybe, it didn't look as good for the defense as well as it could have. Giving Buffalo Bills credit, some long third downs. They made some big plays. They got first downs. They got out of their own end and moved the ball down the field. So, you know what, the defense did do some nice things, but just wasn't enough today. And then also, they didn't get any help from the offense. When you turn the ball over that many times, it's just tough to be back out there on the field again for that for that long of a period of time. Now, the time of possession wasn't as bad as it has been in the past today, but still wasn't in the Colts' favor.
Jonathan Taylor ends this game 21 carries for 114 yards. Another really nice game for him. Don't want to lose sight of that. You know, there were some individual performances in this game, Bill, but not enough as a team to pull out this win. And the Colts from here, we will see how things continue to progress. But again, the season, I know no one wants to hear it, Bill, and like I'm acknowledging that. Like no one wants to hear it, but
Right.
like the Colts are still a game out. Like you may feel doom and gloom, and you may feel like this kind of bleak outlook on this season, but it's not going to take much. Like I'm just telling you, it's not going to take much for this team. They have a lot to clean up, and we say that every week on this podcast, Bill. There's a lot to clean up and a lot to improve on, but the AFC is wide open, and there is a chance still that this Colts team can be
Yes.
a playoff team. They've got to correct a lot of things, but they're not out of it. You're not sitting here with 2 wins. You're not sitting here getting blown out by the Arizona Cardinals like the Colts opponent in Week 11, the New York Jets did today. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Joe Flacco still his team starting quarterback. Shane Steichen told us after the game. So again, we will see where things go in the coming week and coming weeks for this football team.
Exactly. I mean, and as a player, you guys look at it as, look, right now we're 4-6. We're still have an opportunity to reach some of the goals that we have set at the beginning of the season, beginning of training camp, to go out and try to hopefully accomplish those goals. We know we're not playing well. Each individual needs to look at themselves and say, hey, look, we're not playing well. What can we do better to help this team win football games? And they just need to cut out those mistakes. If they can cut out those mistakes, and it sounds easy for me to say, but cut out those mistakes and play a full 4 quarters of football against some of these teams, they will give themselves a better chance to win football games. Turning the football over is not a good way of giving yourself a chance to win football games. So cutting out those mistakes, doing those things, but it's going to be up to the players themselves, being accountable to themselves and being accountable to the organization and to their teammates to go out there and play the best you can. You want to give your all. You want to be a professional. Go out there, be a professional, play hard, play well for your teammates, and then let's see what happens after that.
Well said right there, Bill. And hey, next week, Bill, I travel a lot during the season, and I couldn't live without the Sony 1000 XM5 noise-canceling headphones. Whether I'm listening to music on the plane or trying to listen back to interviews I conduct in the post-game locker room at MetLife Stadium, these premium noise cancellation headphones provide the premium noise cancellation these headphones provide keeps me in the zone whether I'm relaxing or I'm working. And when I'm at home, these are great for just hearing you, Bill, on this podcast and keeping me locked in or just hanging around the house. Take it from me. These are my favorite headphones I've ever owned. The Sony 1000 XM5 headphones are the official headphones of the Indianapolis Colts. And that is going to do it for us here on this episode of Instant Reaction presented by Sony. Bill and I will be back with you next week after the Colts face the New York Jets. Until then, so long. Talk to you next week.